Hey, hey, hey. Today we're talking about the human design centers, all nine of them, and how they relate to our authentic expression. Hey guys, I'm Rachel, your host of the Be You Babe podcast. And I'm really excited to talk about this because I think we kind of forget about it, to be honest, and we start to overthink our messaging. Who can relate to that? Who overthinks their messaging? Raise your hand. Yeah, that's okay. We're going to talk about it. In human design, we have 9 centers. And unless you're a reflector has all undefined centers. But if you're one of the other 4 types, you have at least 2 of these centers defined, meaning they're colored in. And this energy is really, really important to understand in your authentic expression. And most of the people that come into my world are operating from conditioning of their open centers. And honestly, this is where I was before I discovered human design is it's operating from this conditioning of my undefined centers. And if you're unfamiliar or haven't dove too deep into human design yet, the defined centers, the colored in centers are consistent energy for you. This is kind of shows up the same way every time, right? Maybe you have 2 different emotional waves, but for the most part, this energy is consistent for you, right? If it's a white or uncolored center, then it is called an undefined center. And this is where we take in the energy of others and amplify it out. It is the place that we are most deeply conditioned by the world around us because we're absorbing that energy, right? We're taking on our parents' values if we have an open will. We're taking on their emotional state if we're undefined in our emotions. All of these things cause us to kind of lean away from our energy, our true authentic energy. And our authentic energy isn't in the definition in the places that are colored on our chart. That is the energy that feels the most like coming home. It's the energy that feels most like us and authentic to us. If I try to write a story that's super emotional or something like that, I can't do it. It feels off. It feels like I'm forcing it because I have to. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes I try to push myself to write something that I'm not used to, but it feels like putting on a sweater in 90-degree heat. It just doesn't feel right. Versus when you can be in your defined energy, it feels like "Oh, this is just easy. Words just come. I'm just being myself. I don't feel any pressure to say or do or be anything other than myself." That's what we want when we're writing and speaking and marketing our businesses. We want to be as much in our own authentic expression because that's what makes us magnetic. That's what makes people come to you. That's what makes your business grow. And honestly, when you start to have those experiences where, oh, people are reaching out, oh, people are buying, my offers are selling, that's fuel to keep going. That's fuel that, like, yes, I can do this. Yes, I am doing this. Right. And not to say that we don't need those experiences, but they feel really good when they happen. Right. And so today I kind of want to go through the centers and understand, hope you have a better understanding of maybe what your defined energy is and how you can authentically express it or get into that energy yourself. Now, with these different centers, when you have a defined center, the channel between the two, it could be one of any of the channels, right? But there's a channel connecting those two. That's what makes it defined, is there's going to be a channel. You can have split definition, you can have these other things, but the energy is moving from center to center. And it's all trying to get to the throat center to, as Ross says, make manifest. When you can speak it out, then you can manifest it. And everyone has the ability to manifest what they want. Everyone has the ability to have the success and the life and the all of it, the abundance that they so desire, um, just go about it in different ways because our energy is different, right? So if you, well, my chart as an example, my G center is connected to my sacral, and then my sacral and my root are both connected to the spleen, and then the spleen shoots it up to the throat center. So all my like heart energy and sacral like power and sacral joy and passion all get filtered through my spleen on its way up to the throat. So anytime actually need a little bit of time, I need to be very present in the moment. I need to be um void of, or at least neutral in my emotions to really tap into what do I want. If I am overly excited about something or overly melancholy about something, it's really hard for me to know what I actually want. Um, and this shows up in like seeing, I don't know, like a program or something, and I'll read it and be like, oh, that looks so good. And I'll kind of get caught up in the emotions of it. I'm like, oh, that seems so fantastic. And then I'll pause and be like, oh, actually, not actually what I need right now at all. It sounds really cool and it seems like a really amazing program. That's actually not what I need right now. Or in the opposite of that, I'll see something and be like, yeah, I'm not real thrilled about it. But then pause on it and come back from a newer neutral place. Like, oh, actually, this has some really important pieces that I'm missing in my skill set or whatever, right? It can go both ways. The important piece for me, though, is I have to be kind of in that neutral space of emotions. And much the same as someone that is defined in their emotions, making that final decision when they're neutral. I think it really is important to pause and make sure that we're doing something that we are like we've put our intention into, right? We're not grasping out of fear. We're not grasping out of they have something, some secret that I don't have, and therefore I need it, right? We don't want to do that. We want to come from our innate energy and trust that where it's guiding us is actually where we want to go, right? So we look at like the head and ajna. I love looking at these. So if you have these defined, it's your thoughts and your ideas, the way you put things together that's really, really important. And you should be talking about what you're thinking about, right? Even if it's disconnected from your throat, it's a little bit hard to get those thoughts out sometimes. It is about the way you put things together. It's about the way that you think about the problem and the way that you think about um, the different concepts, right? And if you're undefined, it's so easy to think that you should share your thoughts. You should share it, right? But if we're up here in our head, we're not actually in our body where the energy is. If like anytime I start to overthink, meaning maybe I write something that was in the moment, and then my head comes in and is like, oh, well, we should make sure it's pain point and we got to make sure that the desire is there. We got to make sure that the good call to action, da, da, da. And you start overthinking it, right? Wondering if all these different pieces are in place and are clear enough, right? That's when I've gone out of my body, out of my authentic energy and up into my head. And it's trying to um, change it, right? That being said, I can hear people going, but here's the thing. You can edit and do edit, right? But don't allow yourself to take the authentic expression out of it, meaning you're going to change what you're saying because you want to make sure that something is clear. Like, I have a deep, deep belief that what I'm saying is clear and that you're going to get out what you need to get out, right? Of whatever I'm saying. Starting with that belief and making sure that you're changing things because you know that there's a better way to say it and it's coming from your actual authentic energy. I hope I'm making sense. It's case in point. Okay. So if you have an undefined throat or defined throat, so if you have a defined throat, you have a consistent way of speaking. It's like your song, like a bird song, right? It's consistent for you. Going outside of that, it's going to feel a little weird. That wool sweater, it's not going to be like, I don't know what to talk about. Um, that kind of thing. Not to say that you can't, because we all have all of the energy of the chart. It just has different access to it. Sometimes it's easier to access and sometimes it's harder. There's nothing wrong either way. It's just what in this moment feels like the easy way to do it, right? The easy way, the ease-filled way, the way that feels the most natural, right? If you're undefined, it's so important that you're listening to your audience. What are they saying? How are they talking about the problem and the solution, and what information are they giving you? And then repeating that back, and especially using their words. If you're finding if you are an undefined throat and no one is listening and your content's not getting the engagement you want, it is not the first thing to do to go out and start talking more. That is a time to actually slow down and listen and maybe have conversations with people, like real conversations back and forth. Maybe it's sending out a poll. Maybe it's talking to your current clients, or it's a time to listen and not a time to talk. There is going to be massive pressure that you should talk more. And that's actually the opposite of what you should do. You should listen first and foremost. We look at the G center and identity. If you have this defined, you have this identity within you. It may change depending on other pieces of your chart, but you know who you are. You know that you have a lovability to you, right? You have a direction in life of some sort. You may not know where it's going or what it looks like, but you know there's a direction and you're at least headed somewhat in the right direction, right? If you're undefined, that's harder to access. It's hard. It feels more like, is there even a direction? It feels like, do people love me? If I show up as myself, are people going to like me? That's, I mean, when you start to ask those questions, if I show up as myself, am I lovable? You're in that undefined condition space. Because the beauty in the undefined G center is that you have a plethora of directions and ways of being. You don't have that's not fixed on any one direct place. It can change often, and you get to show the world how that's okay, right? That you get to be a chameleon really in terms of who you want to be. Um, some things that can help you are making sure that your environment is feels good, right? Because if your environment is off, it's going to make your whole body feel off. Feng shui is so good for undefined G people, like works so well because it helps align those energies when it's inconsistent within you, right? If we look at the will center and worthiness, whew, pushing to prove that you're enough. These are the people that love, if you're undefined in your will center, you're the type of person that loves to value stuff. Raise your hand. Yep. I'm going to put in as much value into a offer because I want you to have everything that you need, right? To fix the problem. I want to make sure that I'm giving you as much value as possible. And that is the conditioning of the will center. It has to prove that it's worthy, right? Also, on the flip side of that is that you get to show us that we're worthy just for being us. Like there's nothing that we have to do. We are here and that's it. We are born worthy, right? If you're defined, this, when you're defined, you know what you want. Like you really know what you want. And it can be materialistic and that's okay. But you know inherently, they're like, I know I want that and I'm going to get it. My son is this way. He's defined in his will and he is very much, I know what I want and I'm going to get it. This is his sister off because I'm defined. So your energy is very, I want, right? And understanding that that's okay. I think in the defined will can also be a little bit conditioned in that depending on how you're raised, It can be what I want isn't, no one cares, or it's that kind of feeling, right? And just understanding that what you want is okay. It is exactly what you or need to bring to the world, right? That's the energy we, yes, want more people that know what they want. We all want to know what we want, right? Okay. Solar plex. If you're defined in your solar plex, I tell every person that I meet, if you're defined in your solar plex, you better be talking about your emotions in some way. Um, I know so many people with a defined solar plex that they are doing something in their work that is helping other people with their emotions. And I think that is the most beautiful thing because our defined energy is what we're giving to the world. It's how we can pour over and give, right? From this defined energy. And when it's defined, when the solar plex is defined, it's talking about your emotions and explaining them and understanding how they work, and because it's consistent, right? If you're undefined, inc- inconsistent, you are. It feels like a tidal wave pulling you in all kinds of different directions because you're influenced by the people around you, by the collective, by your own experiences. It feels like just this soup of emotion, and you have no idea how to handle it, right? It's the people pleasers. It's the like, I'm scared what they're gonna say if I post this. Or it's the I'm not sure I can do this because um I am worried that someone will think it's weird or someone will think it's too woo-woo or something like that. You're worried about other people's feelings. And that's the deeply conditioned part of the undefined solar plex. There, right? Like that's the piece to heal. Like you don't have to worry about other people's emotions. That's their job, right? Now, if we flip to the other side of the chart and we go to the spleen, spleen is intuitive. Spleen is health and vitality and fears and anxiety. When you're defined in your spleen, you can make those split second decisions. You get like a in the moment knowing of something is happening, something is going on, and you can trust it. You can trust that split second knowing. When you're undefined, you can get pulled in all kinds of directions by fear and anxiety. These are the people that um, struggle with health sometimes and struggle to know what's healthy for their body because they don't have that consistently in their body as an energy, right? It's all over the place. So understanding in your even in your messaging, like if you're defined, are you sharing the in the moment kind of bursts of inspiration? And if you're undefined, making sure that you feel safe in the moment, right? There's no other place to feel safe than in the moment. And when we can be present and we can like drop the fears of the past, the anxieties of the future, we can really tap into who we are, right? And what our energy is. So making sure that you're not posting out of fear, anxiety, posting out of or doing things because what if I don't do it? Then I won't make money or whatever, right? Whatever that fear and anxiety is. Then the sacral, and you're defining your sacral. Oh, passion. It's like joy. It's excitement. It's whatever you're feeling like yes to, right? That's what we want to harness when you're defined. If you're undefined, making sure that you're not, again, posting out of pressure to do something or that resting is not okay. Resting is okay. Resting is like your um oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, resting is your way of bringing more to you. It's your magnet. But the more that you rest, the more that you receive, right? If you're undefined in your sacral, the more you rest, the more you receive. And the more you rest well, the more you receive, right? And enjoying that rest. And so making sure that you're not operating from pressure to be and do like the generators and many gens of the world. The root center is also in doing and motivation and looking. If you are defined in your root, you have an energy that you can help other people understand what are the best actions to take. You can kind of clear the road on that's a waste of time and you need to be focused over here instead. I spend a lot of time with clients going, no, that is not what you need to be doing. You need to be doing this. That isn't going to get you paid. That's not going to bring you clients. You need to be focused on this over here. That's going to be the most fruitful in bringing you clients and growing your business, right? That's what I'm doing with my defined route. If you're undefined, not getting caught up in the to-dos. I know the to-do list can go on endlessly, and it feels like if you can just cross all those to-dos off, then you can rest, right? Then you can be okay, but that's not how it works. You are here to be smart, like so smart about what you really need to be doing versus what is just busy work and what is just wasting your energy, right? That is the beauty in the undefined route and also where you can get caught up, right? So, head to toe, our energy really is showing us number one, how we like to operate, how we like to move through the world. And it's going to show us exactly where we have some deep seated beliefs and patterns that are not serving us, that are not serving us to have the things that we want. They're not serving us to create the business we want and attract the people that we want. When you really dive into these centers, they are going to open your mind to everything. Like this is, I think, this exercise alone and going through my defined centers versus undefined centers is how I busted through the majority of my limiting beliefs and changed my mindset because I saw it right there in the chart. This is what I was doing, and this is the lower expression, and this is conditioning. And I'm like, oh, yes, it is. And that's how I can move out of it, right? And get to that higher expression, the wisdom that is found in the open centers. We are incredibly wise in our open centers because we experience the energy of everyone around us and we can become wise to what is actually important, right? So I hope this was helpful in understanding and unpacking the centers just a little bit more and how you can use them in your authentic expression, as well as finding out what your conditioning, your beliefs, and the things that are no longer serving you are. Um, I do cover this inside the messaging club, and which is getting a rebrand. It's getting a rebrand for January. Super excited. I will start pre-sale on that, I think, next month and really excited for people to be able to come in and play. Like the skill of messaging is so important, and everything changes when you feel like you can actually communicate what you do, right? Actually communicate your offers and not stumble over your words and get out what this deep, meaningful work that you do actually is. So super excited about that. If this episode was helpful to you, please like, comment, share, all those fun things. I love reading the reviews and the comments as always, lights up my day. So thank you so much, you guys. Have a great week.